All righty. All right, Nick. Last week we had this. We started this series on providing exceptional customer service, and I think sometimes as agents, we just think of ourselves as sales agents and really don't pay a lot of attention to the follow up. And we were doing this series in the offices, the double your production. And I made the comment, the ultimate goal for all of us as real estate agents is to build referral based businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the ultimate goal. So we're not constantly always having to chase down deals and chase down leads where they're coming to us. But yet we don't have a plan for the after the close. Where all the referrals are going to be generated from. And we often lose our referrals and we often lose our repeat business because of our lack of customer service and really not focusing on it. And I think customer service really has to be a system. When you take a look at companies, they have customer service guidelines. If this happens, if there's a complaint, this is how we handle it. And restaurants do the same thing. So thought we'd just continue it. For the first thing, if you're going to provide in our industry exceptional customer service, you have got to know the market.
Yeah.
You have got to know what is going on in the market. You've got to be able to explain what's going on in the market. There are so many of us out there that have no idea of what is happening. So you have to know the trends. You have to know the stats, even though Todd's not with us today. God rest his soul, but he'll be back.
R.I.P.
He'll be back next week. But knowing those stats that he presents every single Monday morning are imperative because when I'm meeting people or I'm working with prospects and working with clients, because I can have and I may not be an intelligent guy, but I sound intelligent.
Yes.
And what do we always say? How much do you have to know? You have to know more than the next guy, and you have to know more than your clients. And so you have to know the average days on market. You have to know the average list price, the average sales price. You got to, Matt was in here. You got to know the rates. You got to know what's going on with the mortgage industry. And then we talked about important guideline changes. Well, he just announced a new guideline change. You've got to do your homework. At the end of the day, you just got to be a student to knowledge. When we go buy a big purchase, we are relying on that salesperson to educate us, and we have to be in that position where we can educate people.
Yeah, I mean it's super important that your client who's trusting you with probably one of the largest purchases they're ever going to make, trust that you know exactly what is happening at all times through the process, but more importantly, you know what is happening in real estate. So you can explain why this is going to happen, set those expectations. You're going to be able to drive your client through this journey, and you'll be able to explain what the other guy's going to say and what they're going to, they're probably going to come back with this and they're going to negotiate this side. When you're going through any type of a purchase, you want, like you said, the person that's helping you to be an expert in what's happening so they can provide you feedback and ideas and tell you what's best for your next purchase. You're not having to guide your realtor. That's not good. You don't ever want to guide your salesman. And again, it's setting expectations. It's knowing your clients, what is important to them. And you will be able to answer those questions a lot faster if you are a student of real estate. You are paying attention to market trends. You're listening to webinars. You're going to sales classes. This isn't just a, show a home kind of a business. You need to be able to help your client. And that's why they're going to refer you to that next person, because you didn't just help them open doors. You actually crafted this journey with them and made it as easy as possible, and they trusted you through it.
Yeah, I have I had a client that was on a 1 hour Zoom call Sunday afternoon, just needed some reassurance about the market, what's happening. He's seeing this and he's seeing that, and was able to just explain it all to him, and supported by numbers. He's not going anywhere, because now I've established that trust. I am that resource to him.
Exactly.
Number 2, persuasion skills. I find this really interesting. When somebody is talking to you about real estate, they want to be persuaded.
Yeah.
I hate going in and buying a car, but deep down, I'm there to buy a car. and I want to be persuaded into buying a car, and I want to be persuaded into buying the right car. And the people that we come across, especially in real estate, especially with people who want to invest in real estate, or people that are renting and they know that they need to buy, there's always a lot of objections. They've got a lot of excuses of why they can't. Because as you said, Nick, it is one of the largest purchases they're going to ever make. But at the end of the day, if the situation is right and it's right for that person, they really want to be persuaded. And when you are working with, especially working with a couple, you have to know who that decision maker is. And then you have to know the different personalities of the two people. The decision maker could be more of an engineer type. And, that's where I think that, I'm glad Todd's
I
not
was
here.
going to say.
Yeah. But I think, on our team, the Recon Group, we do a lot of training when it comes down to disc assessment.
Yeah.
And not so much for us internally, but as much as just being able to read our customers and so forth. So be compelling. And I think the best way to sell yourself is we call it storify your pitch. When you're in a sales situation, bring stories to the table of how you've helped previous clients, because that goes a long ways into persuading people. Because if somebody else trusted you, then maybe I can trust you.
Well, I mean, and again, you're going to build that trust with a person, but one of the fastest ways to build trust is to listen to what your client is telling you, and then use, as we already discussed, your knowledge in the market to explain how you're going to be able to accomplish that for them. And again, you're storifying, this is what I've done for other clients. We've been able to do this. We negotiated this. I just had this closing. And if you don't have experience in real estate, if you don't have a lot of closings under you, there's other ways that you can, sell yourself as an agent. You can use West USA's brand. You can use, if you have a coach or a team, there's other ways that you can explain your experience and how you can help that client.
And a great example, a couple weeks ago, I was talking with a client who was thinking about selling their house to an open door. And through stories of other people that have gone through that and have regretted it, we were able to persuade them into not going with open door. And that's just a small example of it, because people want to be persuaded to do the right thing.
Correct, the right thing. And that's why I think the big thing that we're seeing is getting that renter who doesn't think they can buy it. We just talked about it with Matt Baker. They're worried about all the extra fees they're going to pay. They think they need the 20% down. But if you're able to persuade them by showing them how this is going to benefit them and their family, you're doing them the right thing. And if you can get them to go from a renter to a buyer, it's going to help them immensely and exponentially over the next 5 to 10 years.
All right. And the last thing, and so importantly, be creative and be resourceful. There is, every real estate transaction is like a fingerprint. Mm-hmm. There is none that are alike. And every transaction, I'm 18, 19 years into this, and there's not a week that goes by that I don't reach out to one of our brokers, because I need a little clarification, or we're constantly, especially in the last 18 months with COVID, so many different challenges, so many different scenarios. So your clients are looking for you to be creative and be resourceful. So one, if you're on a team, lean on your team. If you've got team leaders, lean on your team leaders. Lean on your brokers. When you are in situations where you just don't know what to do and you're looking for different options, that is one of the huge benefits of being with West USA, having 5 brokers on staff. And refer to your vendor list as well. My lenders and title reps and everybody, they are a tremendous resource for me. I'm constantly, especially our lenders, I'm constantly calling them and going, okay, I'm in this situation, or my buyer's in this situation. What are the options? Because I'm not an expert when it comes down to lending. And I think the other thing is, I always, you always have to have, there's always a way mentality. There's always a way to get something done. And you just have to be creative in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, and we could talk about this for a while. I think you You have your team of people that are around you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an official team. It doesn't have to be the team that you're a part of. If you have agents in your
I copied and
office,
posted from this my workshop I did with our team, so
oh,
that's why
perfect.
it's on
Okay.
there.
Well, but again, I mean, a team could be anything. It could be agents in
Yeah.
your office that you trust. It could be someone that you've worked with on past closings. Your branch managers, your brokers. These are people that you can bounce ideas off of. I think the vendor list is a really big deal. I see a lot of agents who think they need to be an expert in every single thing, and they're not. It's not okay to say I don't know. It's okay to say I don't know, but then coming back with, but let me have a conversation with someone who does know or someone knows better than I. And like you said, call your lender, call your title person, call whomever is in the profession of the question. Let them answer it so that you are going to get the best answer for your client. You shouldn't be guessing in those situations. Get the right answer from them. And it's a very easy thing, but it's something I think we don't do enough. It doesn't take a long time to shoot that text or to pick up the phone and ask the question. I think people are scared to not have all the answers for their clients. And I think that that's a scary thing to be in for an agent, to try to get down that rabbit hole of answering things that
Oh,
you
I will
really
tell
shouldn't
you
be
this.
answering.
I am very quick. Like I was talking about that call yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw out a couple questions. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to get the answer for you
Correct.
because this is who I'm going to call. I'm going to get the answer for you. But if you don't know, don't be afraid to say I don't know. You just tell them that you're going to get that answer for them.
Well, and again, I mean, so we're talking about customer service. The point of all of this is put yourself in the position of your client. When's the last time that you've had to try to reach out to someone because you had a problem? If you got the wrong shipment on Amazon, God bless that you're going to be able to figure that out. When Amazon was at their heyday, you were able to send a message and they would fix it for you quickly. Now it's more difficult. If you have to call a big box store or work with someone when something doesn't go right, how would you like to be spoken to? How would you like to be taken care of? And I swear, if that's the mentality that you go into when dealing with your clients, you're going to have a good time and you're going to get that referral after the close.
Yeah, and if you're new to real estate, I mean, this is one of the biggest reasons why you either need to hire one of our coaches at West USA or join a team, because you always say you don't know what you don't know. And I can tell you there's a lot you don't know because I'm 18 years into it and there's a lot I still don't know.
I know. I've been working with him every day, guys, and he's still coming. Come along.